30-year bond's kind of off in its own little world. And as far as what's going on in Fed fund futures, well, you know the answer to that. They're going to constantly, like everything, demand more liquidity. That just seems to be par for the course. Mark, back to you.
All right, thank you, Rick Santelli in Chicago. Okay, here we go. We're about to break 8,000, or we're close to breaking 8,000. I can't actually say we're going to.
Oh, there we go.
There we go.
April 1st,
okay, we just broke 8,000. We're down 600 on the Dow. And, you know, once again, folks, I'm going to tell you that the stock market, which I realize is taking money out of your pocket every minute, is actually the sideshow. It's the credit market that matters the most. Anyway.
Credit market has actually started to show, although small, significant signs of improvement.
As Dylan Radigan said last night, it was the width of a cat's hair. That's how
you got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
No one's expecting a miraculous.
Boy, you are relentless this morning. All right. Just minutes ago, on our air, Art Hogan with Jefferies, a longtime friend of mine, a man I love, climbed way out on the limb and said today will be the bottom. Let's hope he's proven right. Joining us now with their opinions, Phil Orlando, Chief Equity Market Strategist with Federated Investors, and Bob Andres, Chief Investment Strategist with Portfolio Management Consultants. I will start with Phil. Go ahead, make that capitulation.
Well, look, today's my wife's birthday, so I would love for today to be the bottom of the market. But here's the fundamental reality. All of the things that are taking place, the TARP program, the coordinated global interest rate cuts, the support of the commercial paper program, all those programs are fine. You think they're going to work. But the market realizes here that those are all longer-term things that will help get us out of this recession that we've been in for a year, maybe by the middle of next year. So what the market is doing right now is recognizing that none of those programs are going to take us out of this recession. The second half of this year is going to be pumped, both in terms of earnings and GDP growth, and they're trying to figure out, okay, how far down do earnings need to be cut in order to get to fair value?
When and where and how do we bottom?
Well, from a technical standpoint, I think technicals are the only thing we can do because fundamentals are out the window here. We've got dividend yield. Dividend yield is at 3.3%. We're almost at the treasury yield here. The earnings yield is around 10% here. So none of that makes any sense to us.
If the earnings hold up.
Well, that's the point. Consensus earnings, the market is saying we don't believe those earnings. Those earnings are going to get cut. How far down do they go? Do they go from 90 to 75 to 60 to 40? We have no idea at this point. So the only thing that we're looking at is the technicals. 1160 didn't hold. We thought that level would hold. At this point, the next good bottom is the bottom of the 0203 bear market, which is down there around 780 or 800 or so. That's probably on the S&P. That's probably where we're going.
And 7,300 on the Dow.
All right, Bob, what are you seeing in the market right now? When you look at selling like this, we're now down 499, so we're at 8077. You're calling it irrational pessimism?
Irrational pessimism. Let me just make a quick comment on the dividend yield. We have to be, I think the point that was made was well taken, but we have to be careful about banks cutting their dividends and taking it back down. So that's an issue. But I do think it's irrational pessimism, and frankly, I think we need a timeout. We need to, and what I mean by a timeout is
actually... bank holiday?
Yes, a couple of bank holidays. We've got to sit back. I think we're all hyper about this.
The banks are shut technically on Monday, although the market is open.
But I think you need a couple of days of that. And to pull back on professionals in the industry, pull back on the press, and pull back on all the pressure that has been going on. Because I think even the professionals are getting out of line right now. There's some things I've heard in the last couple of days that have really disturbed me. Calling, for an example...
Oh, this is a crash.
Well, you can call it a crash. I certainly think we're closer to fair market value right now.
We're down 20% in 7 days. That's a crash.
But it is, and I'm a realist, and I've been writing about this for a year, okay? But the point is, I don't want to exacerbate the situation at all if I can help it. And I'd rather the rest of us do the same thing.
All right, that's a legitimate point, except that here's the thing.
Yes, sir.
We have a responsibility to tell people what's going on.
Absolutely correct.
And we can't sit here and be Pollyanna and say, don't worry, it'll work out. We don't know how it's going to work out.
The industry is going to
We have an obligation to give people the facts and let them decide what to do.
But just think of the bailout. Quote the bailout, the lend out, however you want to call that. the bottom line on that is that the press has been talking about how that's going to help the economy, the weak economy. There's no relationship, virtually no relationship there. So there's been false information put out, but I absolutely agree with your contention that we have to be realistic about it. And that's
people must know what's going on in order to make intelligent decisions about what to do. Now, I haven't heard that the bailout's going to help the economy, except indirectly by somehow getting the banks on more solid footing.
Or hypothetically putting a floor under housing prices.
Phil, I mean, the Fed has injected hundreds of billions of dollars into the system. There's plenty of money out there, but the banks are sitting on it. They're not lending it out. I mean,
because they don't trust each other.
Why not?
Because they don't know what's in each bank's portfolio.
Because they know each other well. They're bankers. I'm not going to lend money to another banker. I know what I'd do. That's what these guys are saying.
But that's ultimately